Alright, welcome back. We are now in the outback of Queensland. We haven't done a lot of filming lately. We've been travelling with Clem's parents, but we separated from them in Mount Isa. We've gone through Julia Creek, which was ridiculously busy. And now we're heading out to Winton to hopefully do a bit of the dinosaur trail, but we expect it's probably going to be pretty busy there. But we've just pulled over to make a coffee, let Leanne have some morning tea. So we thought we would actually give you a bit of an insight into like van life, how we do things, what we use, stuff like that. So to start with, we've got a pop-up gas kettle. We don't run a 12-volt kettle, we don't run a 240-volt kettle off an inverter or anything. We're not fancy, but we're cheap. And we just use like our Yeti cups, like takeaway cups.
So this kettle is from Kmart. It was $5 and we've had it for...
Well, 9 months. So.
We've had it for 9 months and we've used it every day since we got it. And it's still going
multiple
strong.
Times a day.
We've melted the handle a little bit, just by accident. But since that time, it's been going pretty strong.
Yeah, we tried looking for a new one, a BCF one or Kmart or anything, but everywhere's out of stock of everything at the moment. It's just crazy on the roads. There's people everywhere. You can't get stock of anything. So if you're in the planning phase and there's something you want before your travels, get it before you take off rather than try and look for it later.
Or at least try to anyway. It's pretty busy out everywhere really at the moment. So the other thing is we don't have a coffee machine, we use instant coffee. This is what we prefer. We used to have an espresso and we found there was a little bit too much wastage for us, so we've gone back to instant. We've also accustomed to instant from working up northwest of Western Australia, and on the mines you only get instant, so blend 43.
We actually prefer the Makona.
We do, yeah.
We can't always get our hands on it in those little IGAs and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on blend 43 at the moment. We do have a jar of Makona ready to go when this one runs out. And we just pop it in these little square plastic containers because when we're parked up, they fit nicely down the side here and they can just live out. You can still close this down if you want to.
Which gives you a bit more bench space too.
Yeah.
Which is really handy because you don't get much bench space in this van.
There's something, I don't know if it's just notorious for this brand maybe, but there's just not a lot of bench space. So we actually got this chopping board from IKEA. It's got a little lip on it and it fits really nicely when the glass is folded down, or it does sit over the sink, or it does sit on the table. So we make it work, we just move that around depending on what we're doing. We just struggle to do it on the table now because Liam can reach.
Liam can reach the table, so often if we're prepping food, we'll put the chopping board over the sink where he can't reach. I mean, once he gets his stool, he can still reach some of the way, but at least you can have a bit more control about what he gets his hands on. Yeah, so that works pretty well. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep making these coffees and hit the road, and we'll show you how we do lunch and how we do washing and stuff like that. Just give you a bit of an insight into van life. Alright, and we're just parked up, so I've just left the dog to sit in the back of the car, opened it up, gave them a drink, and I have taken them for a walk. So they're here, we don't get them out every single time we pull over.
Yeah, we're only in the van for 10 minutes, so
yeah.
Don't want to get them too excited.
So I'll show you this as well. So for normal travel, we don't actually do anything for the fridge, and we've never had a problem just on normal roads or even some of the simple sort of dirt roads. We just make sure that they're latched here. We've got like latches inside. And then inside the fridge, we just sort of make sure these rails are up to stop things sort of sliding towards the door. So we just make sure, that one's a bit loose. Make sure they're up and out of the way. And then since we did the Udin and Dana where we had the fridge door come off thanks to 3 days of corrugations, we've put rails in so we can put one of those sandalwood sort of, one of these ones.
Yeah, I think it's there.
Across the fridge. Yeah, look, Clem will get around now.
The bottom one.
There we go. So we're just going to wedge them in for off-road travel so that even if the fridge does come unlatched, it's not going to come past them. And we'll just put something in it to stop it bouncing out itself on those roads. We get to try it, but I reckon it's going to work pretty well.
Yeah. Thanks. No, you can't have the metal pole of death. No.
There you go. So we're going to stop for lunch here. So typically all we do when we stop for lunch is just find somewhere that's relatively level. Turn the gas on so we can use the stove, turn the water on, but we'll show you that when we get inside. Hello, puppers. Alright, so we've got 2 water tanks, like fresh drinking water that we use for everything, and then we've got a grey water tank. Sometimes we do have to catch grey water tanks, especially because we stay at a lot of like, what do you call it, like free camps or donation camps sometimes in towns and stuff like that, where you have to be self-contained, catch your grey water and dump it when you get out of town or at a dump point. So sometimes we do have to catch that. Ours is right at the back, where we've got one tank. Tank 1 is at the front of the axles, tank 2 is behind the axles, and then the grey water's right at the back. So when we're running full with both tanks, which we are now, that's why we don't carry a lot of the other accessories. We like to carry a lot of water. We will use tank 2 first, so that if we do need to catch it in the grey water, we're not moving all the water from the tank 1 at the front to right at the back, so we don't have 200 litres of water right at the back. So tank 2 first, and then we'll switch to tank 1 when we're empty.
Could be worse.
Clem's just behind me trashing the joint, making us look like real professionals.
We're having a really easy lunch today. We're having mee-goreng noodles. So usually we have leftovers for lunch. However, we ate them for dinner last night, which is really good. So yeah, mee-goreng for us today. Usually takes us about 5 minutes to whip up, and it's good to have a packet of noodles in the cupboard anyway for those days so we don't have anything else to eat.
Or our day just hasn't gone well.
Yeah, exactly. So very handy, and it always tastes good.
So one thing you'll learn if you haven't figured out already is we don't have a lot of the Flash toys. We live pretty minimalistically. It's a big word for a Saturday morning or Saturday lunch. We didn't buy a lot of new stuff. Like, we've spent good money on a brand new van and stuff like that, but we brought pots from home. We bought our old camping bowls. We've been camping for years. The chairs that we've had for years. The tables we've had for years. I used to homebrew on those folding tables. So yeah, like Ziggy and a couple of the caravan necessities are the only things we bought new. Everything else we already sort of had. But we just try to keep it simple in the kitchen. Like, this is one of the Tefl Jamie Oliver pots that we were given, I think, as a wedding gift or something like that years ago. So we just brought one pot and it's got the steamer attachment for it. And then we've got one roasting dish, one baking dish, muffin tray, and a wok. I think that's all we've got for indoor cooking. Oh, and a little frying pan for doing eggs. And then outside we've got the Ziggy, and we've got a camp oven as well that we like using if we can have a fire in the ground. Yeah, pretty simple, but we found that we can cook pretty well anything with what we've got there. We do lasagnas, we do enchiladas, we do noodles, stews, stir fries. We can do it all. So why carry all this extra stuff that you really don't need? There's a big difference between needing and wanting.
Yum, yum, yum. Are they good? You want Mum's? Mum ate all hers, see? She's done. Dad's done too, see? Done. Oi, put your tongue back in there.
Finished lunch. We're going to get back in the car. Hopefully Liam will nap in the car today. This is what we do. Shove everything in the sink because we don't want to have to heat up the water now just to do some dishes. We'll do it later. So when we parked up for the night, we'll turn the hot water on, we'll do the dishes. Or if we don't need any of these dishes for dinner, we'll save it all till after dinner and do it all once. Because we're trying to conserve water. Mind you, we will pick up water in the next day or so as well. But
it makes the day easier as well. We always do the breakfast dishes before we leave, but the lunchtime dishes we usually leave until later.
Yeah. Seems to be working. Nothing's ever bounced out of the sink.
Yeah.
Not on general driving anyway. The Udnadala was an exception. We've still got our coffees. These were left over from last night, so we'll finish them off in the car. I'm going to put some Diet Cokes in the fridge because we're trying to cut back on drinking beer. But we still want something cold and fizzy in the afternoon, so we resorted to Diet Coke as a slightly healthier option.
Oh yeah, let me hold you.
Finally, we have found somewhere where there's no one else. We've been surrounded by people for the last, I don't know, 5 weeks I suppose. Through the NT, Uluru, Lara, Kings Canyon, Alice Springs again. Across the Barkly, there's just been people everywhere. But Clem found this on Wikicamps.
Yeah.
I think we're about, what, 70 k's out of Winton?
Yeah, about 70 k's, I'd say
West
of Winton.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is called Camu Camu Waterhole and it's on Wikicamps. Mark will put a pop
Yeah,
up
I'll
in.
pop it up in here. So like it's a nice big open area. To come as far in as we've done, you would want a semi-off-road van, just something with a bit of clearance.
Yeah,
We'll film it as we
washout.
we leave tomorrow. We didn't think about getting the camera out. But yeah, I wouldn't bring a low on-road van this far in, but there was definitely spots that you could definitely fit and park up.
So we're going to set up, I think, just a little bit, and then we'll go for a walk and find the waterhole.
Yeah, apparently there's a waterhole here.
Yeah.
And perks are we found a spot that's pretty well level. I'm just going to lift the front up just a smidge, just with the legs, because it's almost perfect as it is. So happy days.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not as much wind here. It's windy out on the highway, but it's coming from the east, and we're protected by this wall here. It also means we don't really have any phone reception, but that's fine by us, isn't it?
We can climb the wall if we really need it.
Yeah, we don't really need it. Alright, we'll get set up and we'll go for a walk. And that's it. That's pretty well all we do, just for the night. Sometimes we don't even set out the awning, but the way we're facing, we're going to have the afternoon sun just built straight into the side of the van. So we've just set it up for now. And we're just playing ball with the dogs. So some people are concerned that we let them off in the areas there could be baits, and yes, there could be baits here. We don't let them just free roam. They're either on the lead, in the car, in the van, or playing fetch. And if we're playing fetch, they're not picking up food. So it's worked so far. We haven't seen them pick up anything when we've been playing like this. But yeah, it is a concern of ours as well. And for ticks, especially that paralysis tick that's getting around, they get the Bravecto, and they wear tick collars as well.
Yeah, so double treatment. And they saw the vet last in Esperance, and I get the annual checkups every year. So
I saw them in Port Lincoln.
they did too, didn't they?
Yeah. So yeah, we keep their checkups regular, and they've never had ticks in their lifetime. We keep an eye on them pretty well, but I think these two are the preferred method of tick prevention as well. Yes, good papa of sunshine, hey?
This one's going on through.
There you go, there's the chopping board in use. Sits nicely on top of the thing when we don't need it. What's going on down here?
we've got some glow-in-the-dark stars to go on Liam's roof, courtesy of Gran. Gran popped these, didn't they?
Hey, have you got stars in your bed?
Because Liam's loving the stars at the moment, but sometimes he has to go to bed before the stars come out, so we're bringing the stars to him.
We're quite happy for him to stay up to see the stars. He just doesn't make it all the time. Like today, he hasn't napped, so he will crash at about 6:30, I reckon.
No,
so he misses
that's
out on the stars.
today.
So we're giving him his own stars.
Should definitely help him sleep.
He's learned that he can pull them off, haven't you?
I'm putting extra stickies on there.
Because you're cheeky. Oh. Where are you going? So this is usually what our afternoons consist of. We just bring out the toys for Liam, and we sort of just take it in turns. So Clem went for a walk down to the water hole. I'm going to go down in a little while. I just sent the drone up and just took some pictures of around the area. Gorgeous landscape out here. I'll put a little picture up, or I actually did a bit of a pan, so I'll put that up in a second. And yeah, we'll just chill. What does it remind you of?
It reminds me of the Midwest of WA, so between Gelton and Carnarvon. You know how it's got like the limestone mesas and lots of flat land? Yeah, it's very similar landscape. Minus the water hole.
Yeah. So apparently there is a little trickle of water down there, and there's another couple parked up down there. We can't see them or hear them, so we're happy. But yeah, so we're just chilling out in Liam's bunk. As you can see, we've got this mesh screen, so we can zip him up in there. One, so it's like baby jail, and two, so that he can't fall out when he's sleeping.
Can you put them in there for me, please?
Ooh. And then the top bunk ends up becoming storage. We've still got a pram for him. Mind you, he won't need the pram for much longer. Carrier sits at the back, his trike, and our washing basket. So perks of only having the one kid, we can use that for extra storage, because to get to the storage under his bed is quite a pain in the ass. We did try and get an external hatch installed, but it was just too big a delay on the parts. We weren't going to hang around Adelaide for 6 weeks waiting for it. So we gave up on that idea. We just put things like that we don't use very often under there, like the beach bag, because we're not going to the beach anytime soon, so that's living under the bed. Our toilet paper lives under there, but you can get to that from the hatch. Fishing rods that we're not using anymore are in under there. What else do we keep under the bottom bunk?
Some recovery gear.
Oh yeah, some of the recovery gear. So if we're going to go proper four-wheel driving, I'll take a bunch of the stuff out of the van and put it in the car. But for general driving, it goes in the van, so I can conserve weight on the car, because I'm pretty well maxed out. Yeah. So yeah, some of that's under there as well. And then we do have storage under our lounge suite. It goes the whole way along, but there's a wheel arch there, so it's really kind of awkward storage, but our anti-flap kit fits perfectly in there. And then at this end we keep our wok, paper towel, flowers and corn flour and stuff like that. All lives under that part. And all the tin food lives under the fridge in that cupboard and under here. So we just try and keep all the heavy stuff down low. Fires are a little friendly here. Liam and I are just going for a walk, give Clem a bit of time to herself. We'll put him in the bottom of his pram. He's now at that age where he doesn't really like sitting in his pram, but he likes riding in the car. Don't ya? Hey, yeah. We've ditched the pram cart. We're going in by foot because it's a lot more rugged now. Hey, what can you see, kiddo? I mean, there's a little trickle of water in here. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. It must be in here somewhere. Oh, I think I see a bit of water. Ooh. Duck. Where's the duck? Ah, that's quite pretty.
Yeah.
There you go, kiddo. There you go.
What?
Yes, you can throw rocks in there. Good job. You just get a drip every now and then off the rocks, so it must still be seeping through the system. There's what looks like proper like rock art maybe tucked in there. But then you've got a whole bunch of like graffiti as well on this side. Yeah, you can, I don't know if you can see that in here, but there's proper painting in there, and then people have just graffitied. Which is a real shame, a bit disrespectful. Liam's having some screen time for some downtime because he's in hyperactive mode thanks to not having a nap. And Mum is making us some dinner.
Yeah, we're having chicken korma tonight. I feel like every time we're camping off grid, we're always cooking chicken korma. But it's one of our favourite meals, so.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our go-tos. It's always tasty. Clem actually made her own naan with Liam's help last time. I'll see if I can find that clip. This time we've just bought some naan from the shops.
Yeah, we're cheating tonight a little bit.
Yeah, and you're cutting chicken all by yourself.
Yeah, usually this is Mark's job. I'm being brave tonight.
And if you're wondering what that is in the back corner, we've got a fusion lock here. It used to sit here.
Fell off ages ago.
Yeah, I think it was actually when the van was getting serviced and they were fixing the little latches in the windows. I think the service team might have broken it. It doesn't really matter. We've ordered some new parts for it from Fusion Lock online, but we're yet to see them.
Well, they went to Darwin after we left, so we're getting them sent somewhere else. I just don't know where yet.
It's one of the trickiest parts we've found since travelling and thanks to COVID and stuff like that is everything takes so long through Ozpost. It's not like it used to be. So we try and pre-arrange, you know, something weeks and weeks ahead so we can just pick it up on our way through. But a lot of the time, 5 times out of 10, it's missed us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have to then forward it on. We're not going to sit around waiting for it. We did that once when we had a bunch of stuff all arriving at the same time. That was Port Lincoln. That's why we stopped and picked up some work and just really enjoyed that area. But we don't want to do that again for a little while. So yeah, we're just struggling. So again, if there's things that you want before you leave, try and get them before you leave. Don't wait until you're on the road. It becomes a lot trickier. Look at that. What a feast. What do you reckon, kiddo? Good? Oh, lost a bit of naan. Papas are waiting for Liam to drop all his food. Alright, so bath time. We can give Liam a big bath because of the shape of the shower, but when we're off grid we need to save water. There's this flexi tub that you just get from Bunnings, so we just give him that much, just enough to give him a good clean, and he likes to play in there, so he'll be in there for like 10 minutes. There you go. Bath time. So after the data track we got rid of the door here because it was really hard to play with, but you can see this gives us heaps of room now. And we just got like a shower rod that we installed from Bunnings. I need to get the little cap for the end. I've just put duct tape because it can slide. And then just a shower curtain. But they didn't have any rings in stock, so I'm just using cable ties for now. It's just everything's out of stock everywhere. It doesn't even have to be caravan and camping related. Everything's out of stock. It's nuts.
Right, I'm just going to put the awning away while I'm on dog duty today. So one of us is always doing the dogs while the other one's got Liam in the bathtub. So I'll put this away. It just makes things a little bit easier in the morning. And we sort of only put it out in the afternoon when we're facing the sun and we need to keep this side of the van in the shade. So just pop it away now, and that means we've got less to do tomorrow. So food scraps, we don't give them all to the dogs. They get enough from Liam dropping it on the floor and feeding them. He loves feeding them. So especially like from the sink, we try and catch all the bits and pieces that we miss. We've got this compost like buddy. Does it still have it? There you go. Kitchen and bathroom. I know, it's just from Bunnings, but it fits conveniently really well on the top shelf of our fridge.
just like that. So that way we don't have to worry about having, like, we don't use plastic bags, so we don't have any plastic bags in our bin. Oh yeah, the bin's down in that corner, because I can't walk down my side of the bed anyway, it's too awkward. So instead of food scraps going into the bin, we keep them in there until it's full. A lot of the times we were staying at like farm stays or people with chickens, so the chickens would get our scraps, but lately they've just been going into a bin when we come across them. Welcome to our afternoons. There you go. The sun's about to go down. Oh, I forget that I'm taller than the door frame sometimes. I might get the drone up and catch the sunset.
We've just put Liam to bed. He was so tired.
Did he even finish his bottle?
He did actually.
Oh,
he finished his bottle and then he went straight to sleep, which is lovely actually. So it's a bit earlier than usual. It's probably just after 6 p.m. He doesn't usually go to sleep till about 7. So
Yeah, it's 10 past 6.
we've got a whole nother hour, which is lovely.
Yeah, we've actually just caught
and
the
there's some
sunset.
daylight, which is cool. So we're just outside hanging out and playing with the dogs. Lucky puppers have so much play today.
Yeah, they've been cooped up because we've been staying in like caravan parks. Even though we're in the unpowered section and stuff, we can't just run them easily.
Yeah, so we've actually come across quite a few good dog parks recently.
The one in Mount Isa was pretty good.
Yeah, Mount Isa was good. And even Julia Creek had a dog park across the road from the caravan park, which was awesome.
Yeah, it had lots of cool little obstacles and stuff.
Yeah,
I
it
got
was
out
really
to
fun.
Do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we run them every day, even though if we're staying in a caravan park, they'll always get a big walk or run in the morning. And then
usually one during the middle of the day sometimes.
Usually one during the middle and then one in the afternoon, usually just walks in the arvo.
But when they were home, they would sleep all day while we were at work.
Yeah.
So they're getting much more of a life now than they ever did back when we were at our house.
And they love being with us and adventuring and exploring new places.
So like when Clem's working, they're just curled up next to Clem on their beds under the awning or in the van, depending on the weather and stuff. They're just happy being with us.
They're happy puppers.
That's more like it. It's really good on the really cold nights. They come up early and they keep you up warm. What you doing? Yeah, you've put stickers on your stool, haven't you? Oh. This is our morning chaos. We take it in turns each morning. So today's my turn.
Good morning. So it's bright and sunny and I've just finished packing up the inside of the van. Didn't take me too long, took me about 15 minutes. I did the floors as well, so it looks a little bit cleaner in here. I packed some snacks for today. We've only got about an hour drive into Winton, so it's just under 90 k's or so, I think. So it shouldn't be too long. And we'll be in Winton before lunch. I'm going to grab some lunch in town and then we're going to head out to the musical wall and the truck museum and have a look at that this afternoon. So Mark and Liam have wandered down the track somewhere for a bit of a play and the dogs have been out and playing with the ball for about 20 minutes as well, so they're cooked. Usually Mark does the outside pack up, but I'm going to give it a go today and see how I go. I know how everything needs to go, but Mark knows where everything needs to go, so I'll give it a shot and see how I go. Alright, that wasn't so bad. I feel like I got lucky this morning because we didn't have the levelling ramps in and we didn't have the jockey wheel in, so pretty simple site to pack up from. So all I got to do now is lock up, check all the external bits And yeah, then I'll go pick up Mark and Liam. And then I think we're going to go down to the waterhole to have a quick look. We're going to take the dogs with us because it's dog friendly, so why not?
This isn't something I expected to see.
Hey!
Look, Mum took off all on her own.
I did all the pack up.
All her pack up, lifted the legs.
Hello, Squish.
Hey,
Oh, careful, mate. Hot coffee.
how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We've been throwing rocks in the waterhole. He directed me the whole way there. He goes
Did
that
he?
way.
Are you going to go to the waterhole? We can go back now if you want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can sit on Dad's lap.
Hold on. Let me move some food. Don't let him see those blueberries. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, I'm very proud of you.
Okay, here we are at the entrance to Carlucamo Waterhole. Oh, Liam. Ouch. Yeah. Okay, he's fine. Just hit the deck and scraped his knee. Alright, we're heading in now. Did you come in here yesterday?
I did.
Okay, cool.
We
We've got the dogs with us.
family.
The whole family's with us this time.
Oh, what?
This way. Yeah. So you're probably wondering why we've got our beanies on. The mornings have still been really cold, and there's this strong fresh breeze that comes in from the south and just gets it right into your bones. But by the time it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock, we're stripping off layers, and the afternoons have been so good.
That's why I've committed to the shorts. It's a little warmer.
Yeah, alright, off you go. Oh, I see the willy wagtail.
Yeah. He comes in quite close.